Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, everybody, boys and girls. Welcome back to another live stream. Thanks again for tuning in. So today I'm using my other streaming software. So out of curiosity, could you guys let me know if the stream appears to be better quality than it was yesterday? Okay, that would be nice. I mean, I figure it's probably better considering this is what I used to use, but if you guys could let me know if the stream quality is better today than it was yesterday. Yesterday we were working with a different software. It has some cool features that I would like to use, but is what it is. I think this software I can still do what I'd like to do. But anyways. Alrighty, good. So good morning, guys. Good morning from Ohio. Looks better, too soon to tell. XELA has a short of 35%. XELA. Yeah, let's take a peek here at XELA really quickly. Actually, before I do that. So today's game plan going forward, we're going to be taking a look at some of the stocks that reported earnings today, of course, and everything else in between. So I'm going to write XELA down here real quickly. So before we start jumping into sort of these different plays and different stocks on the day, what I'd like to first do is I would first like to run us through the market. So we'll first start here with the SPY. So the SPY ended up having a bearish day yesterday. Let's take a look at this. I believe I had a level right here that we might have talked about, so we'll see. So we're going to start here on the 4-hour chart. You can see why I have that red line price there. Yesterday, that's where our regression trend was at. So yesterday, on the 4-hour chart, we did have a trend support right around 439.79. You will see that's what we held pre-market. That's what we held, sort of in the morning and bounced. Later in the day, that's where we broke down. So this level that the market ended up falling through yesterday was a regression level. So we have essentially regressed through the mean, and I believe we sold all the way down to the daily chart level. I could be wrong though. Let's see. Okay, so we didn't fall down to the daily chart level. We just came down to the 9-day moving average is all. All right, so on the day, I would say that resistance is going to be up somewhere towards 440 right now in the SPY. That's definitely a good price point that we would see resistance. So there's a lot of talk on the town right now with the market, and a lot of people are betting bearish, all right? We've been seeing this kind of back and forth chop taking place on this top, which is very similar to what we saw back here. So for the time being, we have a lot of people in the market that are trying to be bearish and or betting bearish and looking for all this support to break down over the past couple weeks that's been made. So right now on the day, I have resistance up at 440. So I wouldn't be surprised if the market bounces back up to 440 and then gets bearish, okay? So for right now, that's pretty much the level that I'm paying attention to. If there's anything that I'd want to do, it would be long bias up to 440 or short bias off of 440. Otherwise, there really is no play for me for the time being, because that is the closest price point that I would have that has any sort of interaction that I would feel comfortable trying to do any sort of trade against. So for right now, my anticipation is resistance off of 440. Okay, let's take a look at the NASDAQ. So the NASDAQ, pretty much the same thing, back and forth consolidation. Daily chart, no. So daily chart supports down here. All right, so with the way that the NASDAQ is pretty much trading is it came down to the 9-day moving average yesterday. And currently it's just sitting sideways and or flat this morning. The closest level that I would have to go off of would be up at 366.47. So really it would either be long up to retest resistance of 366.53, or I would really only be long bias off the bounce down at 358.42. 358.42 doesn't seem like it's going to happen today because it's pretty far away. But the first bounce point that I would be looking to dip by the market would be down at 358 to about 357, and the current resistance right now is 366.46. So again, NASDAQ resistance 366.46, support down at 357 to 358. Now we're going to take a look at the Russell 2000 because the Russell 2000 is a small cap index. Yesterday, you guys will remember, I think we mentioned this level, which was the daily chart or the 4-hour +1 or -1 deviation, -1. So nonetheless, pretty much the way that we're following the Russell 2000 is it has to stay above the price of 2,214. If we start to come down below 2,214, we're probably just going to continue going back lower. If you look at the daily chart here, you can see that we have not been able to put in a new all-time high for quite some time, and the market is doing this sort of rolling formation. So again, in the event the Russell 2000 does not hold about 2,200, you should expect you're going to continue seeing the Russell 2000 down to about 2,165 cents. And that, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much covers all of the major indexes for you. So not extremely bullish the market right now, sort of on the neutral to bearish side. And that's pretty much it. Should be pretty much caught up with the market now. Good morning from Chicago. Good morning. Stream looks better. That's good. Thank you. What do I think about Amazon and PFE long bias? Currently writing down a couple of these requests really quickly. Jonathan, yeah, I mean, it could very well be that, we're not using Webull and people are used to seeing Webull. That could very well be it. I mean, I have a Webull account, but, I mean, it's just not... I mean, it's a good platform. There's really nothing wrong with Webull, but most of our strategy and stuff that we use just works off of TOS. So I would essentially be running two platforms, which is just meh. I mean, I'm already doing that, but yeah, I mean, that could very well be it, but who knows, really. Good morning from Phoenix, Arizona. Good morning, good morning. AMD short. I'll write that down. We'll take a look at AMD. BTBT to 13. BTBT, we recommended that it had a $13 price target yesterday, potentially. So I don't remember exactly what happened towards the end of the day. But we'll start with BTBT. So the max long price that we suggested yesterday was $13. So today it'll be the same thing. The max long target that we would go for on BTBT today would be $13. In the event we see BTBT up at $13 is where you'd want to take a bearish bet. The reason that we're suggesting that BTBT has a potential target of $13 is if in the event, not in the event, there is no event. It really is just you taking your cute little fingers here onto a mouse, changing the time frame to 1 year, 1 day, and then you're going to go to that handy dandy little white line there, that guy, and you're just going to put a price level there and say that's where it wants to go. So on this move up, the max target we're looking for is the regression level on the daily chart, which is priced at $13. And when it gets there, if it gets there, we're going to bet bearish. So again, today, BTBT, max long target, $13. $13 will be resistance. $13 is a great level to consider being bearish for a short play. Now, let's say everything that I just said doesn't happen. Meaning, let's just say that this little area, this spot, this little flag up move is a false breakout. If it were really a false breakout and it didn't want to go to 13 and it was meant to pull back, we would most likely see the stock pull back down to the mean, which is down at $9.06. So in the event that this falls apart, price target's back to 9. In the event that doesn't happen, price target would be 13. So again, downside targets back to 9, upside targets back to 13. Okay. Yeah, definitely Webull is something to be used for more of a swing trade. I don't even think I've traded anything in my Webull account for like a year. I think the only thing I've done was like bought silver like 3 years ago in that account or 2 years ago in that account. And then I think I bought like CGC like 2 years ago, sold some of that. And then the only other thing I have in there are just a bunch of random stocks that I've gotten from people signing up that I've just continued to hold that have actually done pretty well. So, yeah, I mean, that account maybe has like $1,500 in it. But it's the same thing with my Robinhood account. I usually keep like a couple grand in my Robinhood account and just basically dick around and buy little things here and there. Alrighty, LT Gaming, gotta say, thank you for introducing me to standard deviation. Been adjusting my strategy around it for the last 8 months. Was able to get hard stops, a 1-to-2 risk to reward ratio, and a 70% win rate. Very nice, very nice. Connor for president. Now that's a terrible idea because then everybody would have to witness one of the United States presidents getting assassinated. That's why we can't have me as president. A, because I don't want to die. And because that would just be tragic to have all of you guys witness me get assassinated, okay? So we're going to pop on over to AMC really quickly, only because, well, of course, it's freaking AM Sizzle. And because we told you it was going to go down yesterday. And because we told you the price target was basically down to $34. It didn't quite get there. We're at $35.45, but we'll probably get there today. So yesterday on AMC, we recommended watching the market bearish, with an anticipated price target of the mean. The mean is priced at $34. So, in a nutshell, this today is the current downside target for the market on AM McSizzle. Now, I don't expect that AM McSizzle is going to break down this level. I could be wrong, but I'm just going to say it's not, and I'll probably end up being right. So, because there's times where I try to break the level and then it doesn't work. So I just know that I've been in situations like this where I've been the one that tries to get it to break down because it's so close and then it doesn't work. So I'm just going to say it's not going to break down. And then if it does break down, well, whatever. So today, the downside target move for AM McSizzle is back into the prices of $34 to $33. Market AMC sells down to that green box of 34 to 33. That's where the downside move will most likely stop, most likely slow down, and try to base for the day. In the event you somehow get AM McSizzle to go down below 33.50, well, then shit could get even worse. So we'll take a look at that. So, I mean, does it? Probably not. So typically, stocks don't break down in this setup, right? Typically, they would get supported here one more time, bounce up, and then they would try to break down. So again, I think we go down a little bit more today. Then we're going to bounce for the next couple days, trade sideways, and then we'll try to roll over in like another 2 weeks or something. If the rollover in the next week or 2 weeks fails, then we'll squeeze back up. So again, downside target, like we said, 34, 33. In the event the market does break the levels that I just talked about, which I don't think is going to be today, but in the future, when and if it does, then the market's probably going to be moving back down somewhere towards 24 to 25, back to this level. So pretty much once the market breaks the 33s, 34s, probably looking for 25. Okay. Andy Sandberg, wow, you are definitely not the first person to say that. You're like the millionth person to say that. which, I mean, I see it at times. I do see it at times. Yeah, I gotten called Andy Samberg a lot, and I've been called Adam Sandler, which I don't really see the Adam Sandler one, but, you know, I would be lying if I didn't use that line a couple times on some girls. Still didn't work, so figures. Sava earnings at 8:30 a.m. It is currently moving up, already on analyst upgrade. Have anyone told you that you look like Adam Sandberg? Wow. Wow. Yeah, no, I have heard that one. Oh, much more handsome. Well, my favorite movie from him is Hot Rod. So, Hot Rod it is. All right, we're going to move on over to, and believe me, I still have XELA, Amazon, AMD, BTBT, and all those. So we're going to pop here to XELA, and then we'll eventually come back. We'll take a look at Sava. We will take a look at DLPN. DLPN was awesome. Yesterday, DLPN went right up to the price target we mentioned, so that was cool. So XELA was something that I think we looked at the other day. I don't know if it was here or if it was in the premium group, but nonetheless, we did look at XELA the other day. And yet, the other day I gave a max long target on XELA from 319 to 327. The max long target now on XELA is from, and when I say max long, that doesn't mean that it can't go higher or that it won't go higher. When I say max long, what I'm doing is I'm looking at the way that the market is currently situated and looking at the best case / most logical scenario that an individual should even try to bet on, and nothing more, right? So in this instance with XELA, with the way the market is set up, I don't think it would be a wise or a good choice or something to try for anything more than 320 to 329 on XELA. XELA's situation currently suggests a move from 320 to 329 would be good, logical, that makes sense. Anything more than that would be lucky and probably less likely to happen. So, yes, XELA. Let me just double check the other time frame before I'm wrong. Nope, it's all still pretty accurate. So yeah, XELA for me today is going to be, I want to be long bias on it. I really do. It just kind of feels more long. So yeah, I'm going to be optimistic that there is a long price that's going to touch 318 to 329, 319, 329. We're already at 306. So in the event we see XELA up to 319, 329, this is where you're going to want to be bearish on the stock for the day. Okay. You look like a stud. Well, I can tell there's one person in chat that's got a brain, and it ain't this guy, let me tell you. Oh yeah, HIJI is going up. I'm just now looking over at my mixed scans. Or wait, HJLI. Okay, I gotta drop you. I gotta put this into the red. HJLI. All right, so for now, HJLI is on the move up. There is some news. Hancock Jaffe. Is that Jeffy or Jaffe? Hancock Jaffe. Granted FDA breakthrough device designation for VenoValve. So they got FDA grants, breakthrough device designation status for my Hancock for Jaffe. All right. So nonetheless, based on what I am currently seeing with good old Hancock, is that in the event, well, it's not really in the event, but pretty much I would say you don't really want to try to buy this any higher than the prices of 970 to 960 to 1048. So I do believe we're going to see the price, well, we are going to see this little cock moving on up to 969 to 1050. Now, when this little cock gets all the way up there to that 967 to 1050, there's a great chance you're going to be seeing it sell down. Unless there's something that this market has in store for us that we're really not understanding, this 960 to 1050 would definitely be a good selling zone for Mr. Hancock. All right, we got Mr. Hancock up to 928 there. Yeah, again, like I was saying, that I do think it can get up to 960s-ish. To me, it seems like it makes sense. So we're just gonna kind of follow this. We're gonna follow Mr. Hancock here for just a little bit, and then as this either does or doesn't do what we're thinking, we will then move on over to some other stocks here. We still have to go through some earnings players here in a sec, so don't forget about that. So something that I'm currently watching, right, with like HLJI or HJLI is the ultimate volume system, right? I'm trying to see if we're basically shifting. Right now the TTM is dark blue, which suggests selling pressure. But I'm just kind of watching this volume to see if we remain on the buy side. You can see this candle kind of pulled back, but instantly went back to buying volume. So in the immediate, that's okay, but still not enough. And these are situations. This is a good situation to talk about. So like a lot of times in this situation, right? If you look at the 4-hour chart. So if you look at the 4-hour chart, this is where HJLI is at. It's right here. It still has like 50 cents or 40 cents up to the +3 deviation mark. So a lot of times markets generally like to go to the solid trending lines. So in this instance, we're almost there. It's like, yeah, I think there's a good chance we can get there because we're so close. But sometimes they stop a little early and pull back. So that's kind of the trouble with trying to trade from where the price is at to a deviation. If it's close, sometimes the market goes to, sometimes it shies just before. But anyways, the more you play with it, the more you'll probably understand what I'm talking about. See, like right now, the price has gone to and stopped kind of around this half deviation. So right now, the market's holding kind of resistance right at that half deviation mark, which so far is kind of just like stupid. Sorry. Yeah, the ticker is really HJLI, but, since it's named Hancock, I was just having fun with it. So the whole idea of, is the stock going to be in a downtrend, uptrend next day, this day, that day, really generally comes down to how the stock closes for the day, or how something closes. If it closes low in trend, then there's a good chance it'll kind of bounce and try to trend up overnight. If it closes high in trend, then there's a good chance it's going to try to gap down overnight. The 4-hour chart I would still consider long-term because it's over the course of a half year, but it's more, you could call it more like macro, right? I mean, you're looking at the course of 6 months as opposed to a year. Yeah. All right, so what we'll do is we'll keep HJLI on the screen. Actually, I'm going to put it on this one. HJLI. I'm going to put it on the screen on the right, and then I'm going to use the screen on the left to continue with our analysis. So there's a move on HJLI up to 930. There's 936. All right, so I'm going to take a quick second here. I'm going to look at Amazon because it was requested quite a while ago. Oh, wait. That's one staying over there. This one's going over here. Holy smokes, big sell-off from Amazon. This is actually the first time I'm seeing this. Yeah, HJLI just had a pretty big selling candle there. I'm gonna say you might get a pullback there on HJLI. So, good old Amazon. I think you should start to consider being long bias Amazon. And the reason being is it's come down to the -1 deviation mark. So it's pretty much fallen to support. So you've entered support levels on Amazon. And yeah, so for now, I don't think it's going to go lower or too much lower than 3,200. So for now, I would pretty much say that you want to start considering Amazon as a long in the prices of 3,200, 3,300 down to 3,235. I think that's your current long zone you'd be looking for. So I do believe Amazon's going to go a little bit lower, can go lower, but it's pretty much entered the buy zone. Oh, excuse me. Sorry. How did I come up with a standard deviation trading strategy? I'm just basically sitting, trading for a lot of years, and then playing around new things, new indicators, new studies, new strategies, and that's pretty much how I came up with it. And then so far, I can't say for sure, but I'm just going based off of comments and, I guess you could say testimonials, but so far it's been the most accurate trading strategy that I've introduced to anybody on our channel. And then it tends to be, well, from what I've heard, the most accurate system that anybody's learned. People are like, oh, well, I was learning from this guy, or I went over here and took some educational content, and as soon as I learned your stuff, it significantly blew everyone's out of the water. So who knows, but it does work well. The longer you use it, the more you get comfortable with it. And then the more that you're going to learn that markets really do follow this. So, could you share your setup with us? Yes and no. I mean, all you got to do is use Thinkorswim, standard deviation, add it to your chart. You're going to add 4 deviations, up to 4 deviations. But a lot of the stuff on my chart's custom coded that you can't have. So, but there is a couple videos. All you got to do is go back to our channel, look up something like this strategy will make you a consistent trader, and then you will have a video that will show you how to set this up. Yeah, so WHLM is something I looked at earlier. Kind of funky. I thought it could be a long, but so far it's fading out. The target for WHLM on the downside for now is about 556. So I imagine you're going to see WHLM continuing lower down to about 550. So more or less bearish on that. I was actually getting ready. I actually sat down to make that video yesterday, but then I didn't end up making that video. So I will make that a goal of mine today to post a video regarding the TradingView one. I also introduced that on the stream yesterday, but I will make a video today on it so you can use a TradingView one. And remember, the TradingView one isn't nearly as good as the Thinkorswim one, so really you're getting a subpar indicator to use as opposed to anybody using Thinkorswim. But again, it's really your best bet in comparison to using Thinkorswim that we've found so far across the internet. Tom Anthony, so you're going to want to go to boilerroomtrading.com. I will post a link for you here. Give me a second. Well, that didn't work because it cut off the, I see. Okay, now I've posted a link. There you go. So you're going to want to follow that, and then you'll see all the other scripts there on our site. So for the 314 of you, would you guys please go ahead and tickle the like button, because it does dramatically help the stream, or at least we're told it does. So far, I've been waiting to see that YouTube algorithm work in our favor, but maybe it will. All right, next thing we'll take a look at is AMD. So I think the question was whether or not to be bearish AMD. So let's take a look. Also, before we continue with AMD, for the 300 of you guys on here, this is our separate YouTube channel. It's a very simple YouTube channel. It's called Trading Clips. All it does is it streams Benzinga and Trade Idea scanners for you every day. So these are two, I won't say the only, but these are some of the two most popular scanning softwares for the stock market, and we post them and stream them with the slightest delay. The lowest delay that you can have on YouTube, that stream is streaming in. There's always a delay to YouTube, there just is, but our stream is set to no delay, so that is the fastest real time that you can use that scanner or those scanners in on YouTube. So it's completely free, but you'll basically be using $100 scanners for free every single day. So make sure to check out that channel too before you tune out. All right, now we're gonna pop over to AMD. Looks like our friend HJLI is starting to see some resistance, but it never really hit 3 deviations. So the question is AMD short. So I think just yesterday we had mentioned we thought AMD could continue higher, but we did suggest you would start watching it bearish. Now, pretty much yesterday, the short play on AMD went down to 3 deviations, then it bounced again. But nonetheless, yes, I do think you should be watching AMD on the bear side for a short to happen in the very near future. Today, I don't really have it set up that I think it's a short. So yeah, really the only way that I would bet bearish something like AMD is if the market comes down below the price of 106.60s, or it's rejecting off the price of 109.92. So if it's rejecting 110, then short. If it's breaking down 106, then short. 106.60s. So it's either short off 110 or short below 106 for right now. Yeah, this HJLI still managing to hold up, still trying to stay up. The channel is called Trading Clips. So that's it. Trading Clips. Scanners are run all day. Yeah, NETE popped up on some news. The max long target for me on NETE in this situation would be up to 1460 to 15, which you can see we already hit a high of 1445. So maybe this does one more long push up into highs of, 1460 to 15, but then I would imagine it's going to be bearish and it's going to start dropping. So again, your max long price should be up to 1460 to like 15 on this. And again, I don't even know if that's going to happen. Yeah, I'm doing well. My wisdom teeth are finally not being such a pain in the ass, so that's cool. Wow, big drop from NETE there. Well, not a big one, but just a drop is all. I look like Superman. Of course I do. Do you see these guns? Let's go, baby. All right, so anyways, NETE ends up pulling back. Out of curiosity, I've really been contemplating this idea. Not that, I mean, maybe, pretty much I play golf quite a bit. I really enjoy golf. I've even considered making a golf YouTube channel just because, why not? So what are you guys' thoughts on that? Do you think it would be unacceptable to have a finance channel and a joke around golfing channel? Because again, literally that's, if I'm not trading and working, I'm probably playing golf. So it's like, why not? It'd be fun. Maybe I'll get a couple buddies along with me. We'll call it Average Joe's Golf. Or we'll call it Swing Lube. How about Swing Lube? Swing Lube's always a good one. I'd watch. I'd be down. I mean, who knows? Maybe I could turn my other loved hobby into a way of actually making money, and then I'll never actually even have to pay to play golf. I mean, wouldn't that be miraculous? Literally, trading stocks and playing golf. I like it. It's got a ring to it. All right, you guys have agreed to it. It must be done. We're doing a golf channel now. Why not? So NETE's down a little bit. I have not had anything new come across the scanner. We did get some news here for IFBD, which I have no idea what that means. But if you want to check it out, feel free. Before you make a golf video, tell me your thoughts about Baba. Yeah, let's run it. So we'll take a look at good old Baba Magoo. All right, Baba. So the last time I remember talking about Baba, Baba was down. I know that. I know we recommended Baba as a long, but I think Baba ended up going significantly further than what we thought it would do. So let's take a little peek ski. So the last time we talked about, I I don't know. Actually, I think the last time I really talked about BABA, I think it was here. I think we said go long here. Yep. Yeah, exactly. You see this red line on my chart? It's still there. The last time we talked about BABA on this channel, no, I don't even, it's hard to say because that's over a month ago. I don't know, guys, but I remember it was in a dip and I said watch it long, so maybe that was it. But anyways, so the way BABA's positioned now is BABA had recently sold off down to -1 deviations, this orange line. Then it bounced all the way back to the mean. And again, guys, what I'm showing you right now is literally how the market generally moves on every single stock. Literally, stocks all do the exact same thing. They go from overbought to oversold, overbought to oversold, overbought to oversold. And as they're going overbought and as they're going oversold, they swing back and forth through the mean, which is the white line. So again, we went from, I don't even want to say overbought, but we go oversold, we bounce back to the mean. So the resistance that you can see, which is to the T, you can see where the top of today's candle is at, is right on the mean. So when we go and shift this to a 1-minute chart, you will see that the pre-market high today on BABA is the exact same price point as the long-term mean. So I would say today on BABA, this is going to be a tricky one because the problem is we've already touched resistance and pulled back. We pretty much went down to support and bounced. So that's the way of saying it is this is your support, this is your resistance. And however or whatever you see today that determines which direction this is going to go, be my guest. I would say that we would typically want to be trading upwards and or long bias because the market is from down and now it's going up. But we already tagged the regression trend. So usually I would say as we're down here, you go back to the regression trend. Well, we already did that. So now my analysis would have to point to the regression trend and higher, which I'm not as comfortable saying. So I'm just going to basically go with the analysis on BABA today is I have no fucking clue. And I know that your resistance is up here and I know your support's down there. So whatever happens throughout the day that can cause you enough confidence to take a bet one way or the other, I don't know. 5-minute chart, 1-minute chart, so be it. But I don't like the way it's set up. I just can't get a feel for it. The Boiler Clubs. I love it. Trading the greens. Making money by walking across the street and filming it. I mean, someone would watch it. There's someone there to watch it. Chinese stuff is crashing. No, I really don't trade OTCs. Statistical strokes. Golfing while scalping. Boiler room golf. BRG. Boiler balls. Balls in your boiler. Boiling balls? Oh, I got a better one. We'll call the channel Thick Sticks. Oh, yeah. Thanks for tuning back into Thick Sticks this week. We have Bubba on the tee, and let me guess, he's ready to rip, Tater Chip. All right, let's move on to, well, we already covered BTBT, so I'm going to move over to Sava. And then at about 9 o'clock, we're going to shift gears, and we're going to start looking at some of the earnings stocks for today. Because some of them reported last night, some of them reported this morning. So I figured we just wait a little bit, and about 9 o'clock, we'll start running through some of those earnings plays that took place today. I actually don't remember. It's been a while since I learned it, so I'm probably going to say it wrong. But I think anything over... Yeah, really anything over 1 year is meant to be long term. Anything under 1 year is really not considered long term. So you can just always say rule of thumb is year plus long term. And you'll hear me say I'm looking at the long term charts, and I'm looking at a 180 day, which like theoretically isn't long term, but I don't know. It's close enough. What do you think about shorting AMD? If I remember correctly, you're only bearish AMD if it's rejecting the price of 110, and or if it's, that doesn't seem right. 110 and 96. Yeah, so as long as it's, if it's breaking 110, or sorry, if it's rejecting 110, you're short, which would have been yesterday. So again, the reason we suggested that 110 is the short level would be because that's where the, that's where the +4 deviation marks at yesterday. So this is basically what we teach. So yesterday, if you had asked me where to short AMD when it was like going up here, I would have said you're supposed to short at 110. Okay. Now, it's either it spikes back up to 110 and you short for a double top rejection, or the momentum continues going down, and I wouldn't, and either you're trying to just jump in trend and short it down, or it's, so basically it's either short off 110 or short below 106 on AMD. All right, so Sava. God damn it, Sava. Such a little shitbag. That's right, we looked at Sava there. Sava was a candidate the other day, like even I considered trading, but did I? I don't know. I don't think so. All right, just going to pretty much put it, the bounce you're currently seeing, max target, I don't want to say max because it's probably going to go a little higher than that. So we'll just say that in this current long move with Sava, you're looking to get the price back up to $93 to $98. Once you get to about 93 to 98, it would be good to sell this move. So if you bought this dip, you bought it yesterday, and it moves up to the price of 94 to 98, that's a great selling price within the move that you're currently having. So with the way that the market is currently situated on Sava, it would logically make sense to only be targeting up to a price of 93-ish to 98. Okay? And that's it. That's all we have for Baba. Or wait, that's Sava. You're gay for me? Well, I'm gay for you. Bam. My channel will probably be like shadow banned for like 3 months for saying the word gay. But so be it. Yeah, so if you purchase the standard deviation custom coded script that includes all the other stuff with it, you always get access to any updates we do to our scripts. So you can always just check back into boilerroomtrading.com, go to the product you purchased, log in, sign up, re-access that service or product, and then get the new updated version of it. So generally, we send out an email or some sort of announcement in chat across the email whenever we make an update to one of the scripts or one of the systems. So check your email, or just periodically pop back into Boiler Room Trading to see if there's been an update, or if you ever look at my chart and it seems like there's something else on there that you're not having that's a part of the system, then just check. But you always get access to the updates. I did not write the script for TradingView. That was someone on the internet. I don't know who it was that wrote it. I don't have any intentions of changing the script that's currently there. if anybody wants to try to work on the script and make it better, then by all means, go for it. I've worked with, I think, 2 or 3 people to try to get it right, and it never ends up right. So I've kind of just lost faith myself in trying to even get it done. And again, I don't code and script things. I get other people to or work with other people to do it, and they've all had trouble. So again, if you have the skill set, the time and energy to figure out why the hell Pine script sucks so much and it just doesn't work very well, then be my guest. And then you can share it with us. Zach, yeah, I mean, if you're looking at Sava, my projection for Sava, again, max target right there. I'm not looking for a 107 move. Not that it can't happen. All right, it's not that it can't happen. All right, it's just when we look at the way that the market's currently situated on Sava, logically, it would make most sense to go for 93 to maybe 98. Logically, right now, 107 makes 0 sense. 107 only makes sense if we break out of the mean, which would be this white line. And the rules of the market suggest that first attempts are less likely to break. So with the way the market is currently situated, this would be a first attempt for BABA to break through the mean, which doesn't typically happen. 107 would be more of a logical price point if we go to this 98, 93, and then pull back. Because then, the next time we go up, that would be the second attempt, not the first. First attempts, most likely to fail. Second attempts, more likely to break. Which also reinforces the idea that just because a stock hits a support level more times makes it stronger. That's not correct. Actually, the more times price touches a certain level means the more likely it's actually to break, right? And the reason I say that is because if a stock falls down to $5 and then bounces and it comes back down to $5 and then bounces and comes back down to $5, why the hell does it keep going back down to $5? It doesn't keep going down to 5 if the support's so strong. It keeps going down to 5 because people keep selling that shit down to 5. That's why. So, anyways, I don't think the 107, and sorry if that seemed condescending or asshole-ish or dickish. I don't mean it to be. Sorry. I would actually say what contributed most to my financial education. I would say being fearful of not being secure. I would say one of my, I don't even know to say if it's a characteristic, but I have, maybe it's a characteristic or maybe it's an emotional thing. I don't really know, but I am very fearful of, it's almost fearful of not being successful, and success rhymes with money and money rhymes with security and all those things. So really, I just always worried about being 40 years old and basically not being able to walk outside and, you know, have a life of my own. That's pretty much it. I didn't want to have to. Nobody wants to work for anyone else. Everybody wants to make their own schedule. Everybody wants to do the things that they want to do. Like, that's a no-brainer, dipshit. But I've always been extremely fearful that, hey, what if I don't do things right and I wake up at like 40 years old, still don't have a plan, and I have no money in my pocket. I can't afford to do this. I can't afford to do that. So basically, being scared of not having money, be financially independent, and it basically just old and dumb is what drove me to make sure that I learned about money and saving and interest rates and stocks and this and that and all the things that I knew that you're supposed to know, or all the things I saw other successful, wealthy people or well-off people are doing. So that was just it. I just think fear of basically being unsuccessful and not having money, it scares me. That's really what scares me. So then I learned to trade stocks a little bit, learned to buy stocks. Then I learned about credit cards and interest rates and inflation and how you build credit. And then, It was important to build credit and all of these things because I knew I wanted to buy rental properties. And you can't get invested in rental properties and rental homes unless you have good credit, unless you have a good financial standing. So in order to even do that, I had to make sure that I had good credit. So how did I build good credit? I fucking got credit cards, and then I even got car loans. I've done 2 car loans. Not that I had to. I just know that if I did do that, then banks would see, okay, this guy took out, $40,000, $50,000 in car loans and was able to pay them back in a year and a half. So clearly he knows how to manage money. We'll be willing to give him money to play with. So all those things are in the back of my head. So there's always something I want to do, and then there's like 6 million things you got to do before you get there. And now I'm just rambling, and that's the story. All right, what time is it? 8:55. Give me 1 second here, guys. Mm-hmm. Okay, awesome. I suck, but I'm getting better. Hey, I suck too, many times throughout the week, throughout the day, and throughout the years. I don't think there's any way not to suck at trading. I don't. I really don't. I think you can take the best trader in the world and he'll show you exactly how you can suck at times. So don't be too down on yourself. And that's, Robert, that's another thing too is, like some people, and there's nothing against it. Some people are just generally the type of people that, and I don't even want to say lazy. Like lazy is not even, like some people are generally lazy, sure. But obviously there's plenty of people that just they're just comfortable not doing much. And that's completely fine. That's the other problem is society and social media and everything it's convinced everybody that they have to be doing something to put themselves in this social status, right? I don't give a shit if you're lazy and don't want to do anything. That's fine, right? You're just a human. Do whatever you want to do, right? So that's another problem. A lot of social media, it's just kind of amped us up into thinking that we have to be equivalent, doing the same thing that the guy next to us is doing. And it's just causing a lot of problems, really is what it is. So that's the thing is we constantly see what other people are doing. So we feel the need to play catch up or I'm not doing enough. And I have the same thing, right? Same thing. I look at other people on YouTube and go, oh, well, look at where they're at and look where I'm at. I'm not doing enough. I need to make more videos. I got to be doing better editing and all these things. And it just basically drives you into an endless circle. And so the best thing is just to know that you're all on your own path. I'm on my path. We're all doing the things that we're supposed to be doing in the time that we're supposed to be doing them. And that's just the way it's going to be. You can try harder. You can try to not do a thing as hard, but life's going to keep going on. So don't get caught up with what everyone else is doing all the time. All right. Sorry, I'm just kind of going through some comments here. I owe the government money. I'm currently on the run, but I watch it on my downtime. I like it. I am 27. I'll be 28 in December this year. Yeah, to the gentleman who asked the question about getting around the PDT or trading with the small account, the best thing to say is there is no secret that you haven't already heard regarding a small account, PDT, etc. There isn't anything out there that's magical, mystical, or very secretive that you haven't probably already heard about. It's really just how you piece all of these things together that can give you more opportunity. So you either get 25,000 plus, trade as much as you want. Okay, you don't have 25,000 plus, so that option that's gone, so you can't do that. Okay. Well, you could just have one account with however much money you have, and then you just trade your 3 times per week that it's allowed with your pattern day trading. Okay. Or you could take all the money you have and you could split it up. So maybe you have 10 grand, you could split it into 2 5-grand piles, and then you can open up a broker at TD Ameritrade and Robinhood. Now you have 6 day trades. So you can have as many day trades as you want based on how many brokerage accounts you open, based on how much cash you have in all those brokers. So you could take 20 grand, split it into 4, open up 4 separate brokerage accounts, and then you're going to have a total of 12 trades a week. Or you can go to a cash account. A cash account is something where you're being a big boy. You're only using your money. You're not on a margin account. A margin account would be like you going to your mom and dad and asking them for money to go out on the weekend, and then Monday morning you'll return that money to them with a little bit of interest. So either go cash account or margin account. Margin account, PDT rule, if not over 25K. Cash account means you take all the cash that you have, put it into the broker account. Your broker will give you no more money other than the money that's in your account. So all the money you have in your cash account is all the money that you'll be able to use for investing. Well, when you invest into a company, there's a transaction that takes place. Just like when you go to Target and you buy something, or you go to Walmart and you buy something. So like you went to Walmart and you bought this game, and then you realize the game is for 2-year-olds, and well, you're 50 years old. So I don't know how you made that mistake, but you did. You bought a game for a 2-year-old and you're a 50-year-old. So you want to go back to Walmart and you want to return the game. So you go to return it. It costed you $50. Well, you're not going to instantly get that $50 back on your credit card. It usually has a transaction settlement time. The amount of time it took to process the transaction and then do the refund and then put it back in your bank account could take sometimes a couple days. So anytime you trade stocks or buy anything in the market, it's basically the same as you making a transaction. That transaction has settlement times before the cash that's used or being transferred settles from place A to place B. So in a cash account, depending on the broker you're working with, there's usually what's called a settlement time. The settlement time is becoming quicker, faster as the years go on, generally based on technology. Technology's improved, settlement times have gone down lower. So your other option to avoid PDT is get a cash account. A cash account is the individual investor using all of his own money in his account to invest. He gets no additional money from the broker. Okay? So you can take a $20,000 account, you could divide it into, let's say you have, a $20,000 account. You could divide the $20,000 into an equal $5,000 portions, and you could use $5,000 to trade with on Monday. You could use $5,000 to trade with on Tuesday, $5,000 to trade with on Wednesday, $5,000 to trade with on Thursday, and $5,000 to trade with on Friday. And the reason I say that is because if you take the money in your account and you divide it up and you use that money on one day of every week, the settlement time would be 2 days. So the $5,000 that you took to Walmart and bought Alibaba's stock, so the $5,000 you went into Walmart with and you went to the cashier and you bought $5,000 worth of her stock from the cashier on Monday, okay? And then sold that same $5,000 worth of stock of Walmart that same day on Monday. will then be available to use on Wednesday. So the $5,000 you transacted with on Monday in your cash account will now be available to use on Wednesday. So if you take all your money, divide it equally amongst the days in the week, depending on the settlement time, you could day trade every single day of the week in a cash account. And that's really your only other option. Whew. All right. So now that we've done all that good stuff, now that we've done all that good stuff, give me just a second. I'll be right back, and then we're going to jump into some of the earnings plays for the day. Yeah, some of the earnings movers here for the day. So give me just a tickle, and I'll be back here in a sec. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, I am back on. Alrighty, so after the close Monday, no big names I care about. Before the open on Tuesday. So, I mean, obviously there's a ton of different companies that reported earnings here today. All right. So yeah, really the only earnings that I'll probably follow a little bit today will be Baba. Obviously that's, we talked about that one a little bit earlier. Maybe Under Armour, I might watch a little bit. And then it probably will just come down to anything that pops on the scanner throughout the day. So probably keeping an eye on Baba, a little bit on Under Armour, which is UA. Yeah, and like I said, anything that just tends to start moving throughout the day. We're at 1916, so I could probably go up to 1975. Yeah, maybe. Just an FYI for those of you tuning in to today's stream, don't forget at the Trading Clips YouTube channel, each day trade ideas and Benzinga scanners are streamed for free, starting at about 7 in the morning, going all the way through some of the after hours trading session. These will pretty much find you every stock that's generally moving throughout the market on any given day. Trading Clips YouTube channel. All right. So again, Under Armour, I'm kind of more like bullish on Under Armour today. I'm thinking we might see a target of about $19.75 to $20. That would be my max long target for it. Don't know if I'll trade into it. Oh, excuse me, for now, but that's kind of the max long target for me. Ooh, that's rough. We're going to have to turn that off. Still long TKAT. No, not long TKAT, but you can see TKAT ended up breaking out later in the day and pretty much went to our price target that we mentioned. If you look at the daily chart, you will see on the daily, it pretty much got there, but anyways. Yesterday we had mentioned being long TKAT. We were long, didn't work when we wanted it to. Later in the day it ends up breaking out. Figures, so be it. Pretty much went up to our price target of 986-ish. So for the time being, we're no longer really extremely long biased TKAT. I think you could still see long moves, but again, yesterday was pretty much a breakout over this previous price resistance, which was running to trending resistance. So again, this is price action resistance. That's trending resistance. When price action breaks, we move to trend. So whenever I'm telling you price levels, it's basically on the idea that a price action level will break and we're going to move to true trending levels. So anyways, TKT not long anymore, but it worked out later in the day. Clove? A little Mick Clove? Yeah, I mean, Clove, I would say you want to be long bias Clove. Maybe a target up to $8.99 for right now, but pretty much all I see for Clove. Ooh, excuse me. Yeah, give me a second. I just want to run through all of these stocks that were jumping earlier. WHLM. Wow, that ended up holding support really well. Okay. So I thought WHLN was going to trend down to 560. That's what I was waiting for, but that's not going to happen. This thing's probably going to continue moving upwards, is the way it appears. Yeah, so WHLM is kind of interesting, especially now that it popped there. So the current resistance in the market with WHLM is about 672-ish. I feel like WHLM is going to try to move back up to prices of like 660, 672, and then I feel like we're going to try to break that today. But for now, I guess with WHLM would only be looking to be long bias up to about 670 for right now. And then if we can actually get up through 670s is where the bigger move would occur from WHLM. So for the time being, long bias WHLM back up to 670. If you can break 670, that's where a bigger move can happen, where you'd be targeting up to 720 for the time being. Don, so we are no longer offering the premium chat room service on Boiler Room Trading. The only chat room service we're now offering is the Elites Trading Program, which has one live trading room and multiple weekly mentoring classes. So that's really the only subscription sort of service that our company now offers. We no longer offer the Boiler Room Trading Premium service. So there's not a big move, but WHLM holding that pullback a little bit, trying to move higher. SPCE moved up to 32.80 yesterday, which pretty much means it went to resistance probably. Not quite. Maybe. I haven't seen the other time frame. Yeah, I think you watch SPCE more on the long side. Yeah, I kind of feel like SPCE wants to get back up to prices of like 34.11, so that's probably what I would watch as a move towards maybe 34.11 on SPCE for the time being. No, it doesn't look like we're going to be seeing a whole lot of long bias movement from our friend HJLI right now. I'll say WHLM holding its pullback. Still hasn't really hit that 670s price, but you know. Yes, our scripts and everything only work on Thinkorswim. XELA, as mentioned earlier, targets would be to 320 to 329. We already went over AMD. AMD recommendations a short off of 110 and or short below 106, I think. AMD. I do appreciate the 400 of you guys tuning in. It does dramatically help the stream and the popularity. If you could just go ahead and take your index finger, give it a little tickle, little swipe across the like button, I would greatly appreciate that, and so would the YouTube algorithm. So I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Yeah, sorry about that. AMD. Already took a peek at. Rodrigo, give me just 1 second. Alrighty. Yeah, so what I just posted in the chat room here is a link. It's a 20% coupon code link that I just posted in the chat to the day trading course. So that would pretty much be in depth on pretty much everything I know. And then it also gives you access to our premium Discord on chat room, or a premium chat room on Discord, which isn't anything too crazy, but that is a 20% discount you can use towards the day trading course for anybody who just hopped in or is in chat. RIG. Yeah, so RIG I would say is more of a long trade than than like a selling trade. Sorry. Yeah, I would probably be more long bias RIG for the time being. I mean, HJLI is still just kind of sitting, not really doing a whole ton. Yeah, I still have a long position on MNMD, and I'll show you. So it's just still kind of sitting. It doesn't look great. It's probably not going to end up. So you can still see that we have this deviation we're over. So at the time, I think I mentioned to you, I think I said like the $3 price stop loss, and that's because that's where the -1 deviation mark was at. So the first one, I think, was the daily chart. So I'll show you. Oh, maybe it's not much different than I thought. But anyways, you can still see we're basically sitting and hovering over +1 still. So as long as we're staying above that, then I'll be long. But as we start to get weakness and close below that zone, that's where I'll probably take that trade off. Wow. Wisdom teeth are starting to act up a little bit. WHLM, false breakout. Yeah, I mean, WHLM never got up to the resistance and through it. So yeah, failing the breakout level, right? Shying away from resistance. Well, at least still. No, I don't trade options. Not really, no. Why don't you trade options? Because I don't. About 16 million thousand reasons why I don't trade options. And all of those reasons, everybody already knows. It's just... Really, the only main thing is I don't like having to pick time. That's why I don't... That's really my main thing against options. I don't like having to pick a time. Futures, I trade futures every once in a while, but not really. It's something I want to do more of. Like, I wouldn't mind. I do want to do some more options trading. I do want to do more futures trading, but there's a learning curve with those still for me. And it's not even necessarily a learning curve, but obviously I'm more used to equity, so of course there is somewhat of a learning curve for me, but it's not that I don't want to trade futures, not that I don't want to trade options, not that I don't want to do any of those. I do. It's just one of those things where I'm just not. It's just not a part of my game every day. VRYYF for the long term. Gord, I don't look at OTC stocks or anything like that. I mean, my analysis won't do any good on that. I wonder. All right, guys. We only got 5 minutes till market open. Just an FYI. Baba's still kind of looking like shit. Don, right now, the YouTube stream starts at 8 a.m. 8 in the morning. X? I'm gonna say X is gonna be more of a long today. You might get a slight dip at first, but overall X long bias, I think, today. Nope, this is Eastern time. This is the Eastern Mick time. There's 2 people live right now in the world, the Boiler Room and Mr. Meet Kevin. Both of us are doing market analysis for the open. The question is, though, the question remains, who has a more accurate analysis? It's definitely Kevin. Kevin's a savage. I really hope he wins governor of California, but maybe he's not doing that anymore. Did anybody know if he's still running for governor of California? I don't know if he is or isn't. I follow him a little bit here and there. But hopefully he wins. Hopefully he wins. But a fun fact, Mr. Meet Kevin, where are you at? What are you looking at these days? Oh, some people want to see Baba. I could tell you what's going to happen there, but you'd have to tune over to our channel, bud. Is he still running? Yes, let's go. Yeah, I really, really hope he wins governor of California. I really do. He has my support. You know, it's like California was considering a tax to tax people who left the state, right? Like still taxing them, which is just crazy, which then made me think California should allow outside citizens from the state of California to vote in their election, right? I mean, if you want to do this whole strings attached shit, like if people leave California, you're still going to tax them. It's like, well, how about you let people from outside of California vote for California, since that's the way you guys want to do things these days. Oh, yeah, they're still, California's still being shady as shit. Yeah, running a terrible, terrible system over there. Figures! Alrighty, so yeah, like I said, probably going to keep an eye on Baba going into the open a little bit. I'm going to keep an eye on these little, a few of these little penny stock guys that are moving. I got to unlink this. That works. All right, so based on the way Baba's moving, I don't really feel comfortable being on the short side to start the open. I feel like it's going to give more of a long move. I'm going to watch this WHLM. What about DLPN? DLPN's kind of selling down. Unless it does one of those tricky, fakey moves, huh? Hold support and rip. You do, don't you? You're not going to pull back and crash, are you? You're going to bounce. Maybe. Yeah, that would be pretty DLPN, I don't know. I'm thinking that might pop up. We'll see. For DLPN to be anything special, it'd have to get up and through the prices of like $11. So, kind of watching DLPN a little bit. Well, Baba selling down. Baba is almost to the support level that we had talked about that it would try to go to, which was 192.29. Huh. Yeah, looking at this HLIT stock. It's just really odd. Don't like the way OTLK is looking. SPY currently moving downwards still. Yeah, AHPI is trying to make a move still. Just awkward. BTBT stock is just getting hammered this morning. Regarding your question on BABA, you should probably have already been watching it long to be long. CI Auto. Yeah, BTBT actually kind of seems like it's not a bad short almost, but a little bit late to that. We would need a full breakdown for that to work really, really well. And it was easy to borrow just a couple days ago. They shifted it back to hard to borrow now, which is just kind of stupid. WHLM, yeah. So WHLM, as you guys can see, went right back to where? Went right to our resistance point, as we mentioned, that 672 price. So only through this 670s area is WHLM going to work really well. So that's your new, basically your new levels to follow is WHLM for a break through the price of 660s to 670s. And if that happens, I would imagine it goes up towards like 720-ish. And then while we're at it, look at my screen really quickly. Look at the top of WHLM occurring right at about 665 to 670. We're going to change that time frame to the daily chart. Oh, actually, excuse me, wrong one. We're going to well, it works too, but we're going to change the time frame to 180-day 4-hour. And you will see that right at that top, we have what? We have the +1 deviation. So you know exactly why WHLM is currently topping on the day where it's topping. The prices of 670 are the long-term deviation resistance. This is the resistance that if we break out will cause a little bit of a short squeeze and a breakout. And the projected target for this breakout move would be up to 720. And there goes your long bias traders all stopping out so far. Do I think BTBT is a good buy? No, I think BTBT is bearish. It's something that I would be betting bearish on, but you had to pay for shares of short, so no, I don't really like BTBT. BTBT has a potential downside move all the way to 907 too. Oh, OTLK. Finally making a little move up. OTLK should probably go up to about 330, I would imagine. Well, there goes OTLK up to about 320. Well, it hit high at 327 there. Target would be like 330. So OTLK probably just got up to its price target that it was supposed to get to. AMD's at 110. AMD's at over 110 up to 1052 and still looks strong. I mean, yeah, that would be the level that you'd consider shorting off of, but again, this still looks a little too strong. Yeah, still looking, still watching. OTLK still holding up okay, but again, I don't know if it has too much more in it. Nope, looks like it's already starting to kind of pull back. XELA, let's see. Yep, XELA up into about 320. Yeah, I mean, you could watch XELA to maybe get up to the 328s. But yeah, I mean, this is probably the last stretch for XELA at this point. So let's see. NETE came across the scanner here. LIXT also came across the scanner. NETE is so far garbage. LIXT is moving, but kind of odd looking. LIXT's already hit resistance on the 4-hour chart, so it'd have to move another one. Yeah, LIXT's kind of done for, I think. Maybe a little bit more to the upside, 416, but pretty much done on LIXT now, it looks like. Ooh, WHLM. That's very interesting. I mean, right back up. It's got to get through that 660s, 670s. But yeah, if you can get WHLM through that top there, it should probably pop towards 720, I'd imagine. There goes WHLM up to 705, almost to 720. Very nice. Fucking Ripper Magoo! Let's go, baby! And that's how it's done, folks. It's getting halted. So if you're long WHLM, you stay long. You're going to be able to buy your wife a nice pair of lingerie tonight, and she's going to just... I'm not going to say the rest because that was going to get me banned from YouTube for the rest of my time. So we won't go there. But ladies and gentlemen, the 720 target WHLM is incoming. Thumbs up. Ooh, look at XELA holding a very solid bullish Mick candle. So like we said, XELA, you should only really be trying to get this stock up into a price of maybe $329. We already hit the 320 target. You can see we've pulled back. It's still moving strong. So again, max long target on XELA is up to 329. If XELA goes higher than 329 today, then awesome. That's a little lucky. That's more than what I would have anticipated. Would you short WHLM when it's unhalted? No, and the reason being is I don't even think there's shares to short on WHLM. So I don't even think I can, so no. All right, so now we're going to review Mr. WHL MIC-M a little closer so you guys can understand what the dealio is. So WHLM, right? It's going up. Things look great. For anybody who's buying this long and blah, 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 doesn't even matter. Look at the screen on the right. Go to the 4-hour chart. Not the 4-hour chart, excuse me. So let me just put it this way. WHLM has the potential to go to 778. Like, it can do that. It can go to 778. I don't know if it will. I'm not entirely sure. And the reason I'm saying I'm not entirely sure is because, watch this. Look at the screen on the left. Look at the screen on the right. The 778 target is this red line. So we'll change this to green. So the green, well, let's not change that to green. We're going to change this to baby blue. So the baby blue line on the left screen, and I guess the right one, that's the 780 target. We could potentially get there. But in order to get to 780, we would first have to break the level here on the screen on the right. You can see this dotted line there. We first need to go through this guy. Hold on. Okay. And when we change the time frame from 180 to a 1-year day, you will see that we also have this level here, which comes into play at 720. So before we can even suggest 770, we got to get through 720. So for the long move in the market, I was only expecting to get to 720. But a portion of me feels that this has the potential to go to 780. So just watching it at this point, seeing how it reacts at 725, if in the event it's going to break 725, the move could probably make it towards 780. Then again, do be mindful of how WHLM has traded today. Ready? Up, big down. False breakout, big down. Up, pull back, up, down, spike up, down, spike up, down, spike up, down. So if it follows anything similar, very good chance this thing's going to have a pretty harsh candle right around 725-ish. Is Sava still good? I have no idea. Sava today has pulled back to support. If you look at my screen, zoom in. You see the current trading day on Sava, this red candle? Look where the bottom of the candle is. Oh, damn it, WHLM is open. It hit 720. Can it get through 720 MIC 5? Right to 730. And I think she's about to get smacked. Good old Mick Smacker Magooster. Oh my gosh, what do you know? It went right to 725, 730, and then you get a harsh pullback. It's almost like we knew that the price was going to go there before it went there. But how is that even possible? I thought there was no way to actually predict the stock market. I thought it was all bullshit. Huh. Good one, folks. Good one. Most halts are going to be like 5 minutes, but so if you look at the screen on the right with Sava, you will see that the bottom of today's price action is right off of the statistical mean, which is at a price of 82.67, which wasn't something that I had mentioned earlier in today's analysis, but doesn't really matter. To put it simply, the support for Sava right now is 82.73. As the markets go below 82.73, you should see continued weakness or some sort of weakness there. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, look at little Mick WHLM go. So this candle gets through the 720s and it pops. We got up to 750. Another 30 cents until you hit 780. Oh my goodness, would you look at the Mick market getting absolutely Mick smoked. I bet the market is going to our price target. Let's see. Or wait, no, that wouldn't make sense because we didn't have a price target on the SPY. The Qs just broke down or came down to the 9-day moving average. Cool. Yeah, so again, pretty much market's bearish. I don't really think there's a whole lot to say other than that. AMD harsh pullback. Wow, AMD harsh pullback right at 310. So I guess we were right about the short level. But it also lined up with the market dropping at the same time. But yeah, I think you could probably get away taking a bearish trade onto AMD. I think AMD is going to continue down. There goes AMD continuing lower. Well, the market's also kind of going down too, so. Oh, AMD. Not looking good, bud. Not looking good. Oh my gosh. It's going down. Oh my gosh. What are we going to do, folks? What are we to do? Give me a second. I actually got to go pick up my glasses that I threw on the floor for no reason. In other news today, folks, yesterday there was a total, I think, of 3,800 playbacks on the YouTube stream. We're currently at 4,000 playbacks. So that means there's been an improvement since yesterday. So thumbs up to that, everybody. Oh my gosh. But what is going on with AMD? I mean, why is it going down? I just don't get it, folks. I just don't understand. Wow. There is no position. We're just having fun. It looks like AM mixed sizzle's gonna continue down. You've gotten WHLM up to 750. I'm not long on that, but if you are long, I think you might get a 780 tag, and then we'll start to see some more resistance. You got up to 760 there, instant selling pressure back down. You came here for the tips, you stayed for the drama. Well, sweet. Okay, so yes, it looks like AMD is going to continue lower. It looks like the stock XELA is going to break out of 320 and maybe tag up to 329. So you could probably continue watching XELA long through the 320 high, looking for maybe a 10-cent breakout to 329, and that's it. Oh my gosh, will you just look at little freaking AM McDickle, still going lower. But why? Why would that happen? Oh, maybe because the stock's trading at +4 and +3 deviation, so it probably should be pulling back. Pretty much to determine anything regarding trend, which way the market's going to go. I mean, there's multiple things, but it basically has to do with trend. Is a stock high in trend? Is a stock low in trend? That's pretty much it. Is a stock high or a stock low, right? Stocks, right? People buy low, sell high. Buy low, sell high. So it's your job to figure out whether or not it's low and or high in trend, and that's probably going to be your best bet into helping you figure out the direction of a move. Alrighty, so yeah, pretty much just on standby right now. AMD did a quick little pop up to the upside. Well, EJH is not doing so good. Yes, Ron Burgundy. Ron Burgundy. Exactly. Exactly. Well, folks, it would appear that AMD is trying to continue lower. It's really important to see what this candle does. If this candle remains above the previous low candles at 108.20, then the longs are going to get or then the shorts are going to get popped up. If the market continues down, which it looks like it's going to continue down, then I would imagine AMD is going to try to break down here. Excuse me. Well, AMD sitting, holding for dear life. LIXT, is it worth a watch? No, LAXT I'm going to pass on. It's already bought up into resistance, so unless we are extremely lucky, it shouldn't really do a whole lot more. Wow, what a strong comeback from AMD. HLJI. Yeah, we'll see about that. If this would ever low, that would be great. Bitcoin already bounced back. I was wrong about my first analysis. But then again, also Amazon came out, so they're gonna doesn't really matter. But my dip by level for Bitcoin was -2 deviation, never reached -2 deviation. HJLI, interesting. BT bounced back. I mean, it already bounced back. Right? It sold down and then bounced. I'm not banking on BTB recovering myself. This HJLI stock, still watching this. I feel like this might have an opportunity for another long move. Yeah, we could take a look at KDM or KDM. I mean, it's a move up, not particular a day trading stock for me, too low volume. I feel like that can move higher, but again, it doesn't have really big range, so I'm just going to pass on that. AMC. Let's see what ended up happening. Oh, AMC sold off into our price targets, and it's trying to bounce. Oh, figures. Wonder if anybody let Mr. Matt Kors in trades know today. Did anybody happen to go to the chat and let him know that it was supposed to go down to these prices today? No? Oh, alrighty. Alrighty, folks. Maybe next time. Maybe next time. Alrighty, so anyways, you have AMC down into our desired price zone for the day. As we mentioned, we said that this is where AMC would try to bottom for the day or try to bounce. You will see that as soon as the market sold down and hit that, we got one bounce, and then we came down to the low of that channel, we got two bounce. Market rejected the top of the channel, now moving lower, so it's all a matter of whether or not AMC is going to hold support here or break down 33.51. Well, HJLI really just rolled over, took everyone for a run. ARCT is on the scanner. ARCT. Oh, good to move up to 3 deviations. Probably about to pull back. HOTH. That's kind of garbage. Nobody really cares about that. Create highlight videos. What's that? I didn't know that you could do that. Well, that's cool. This is the first time I've ever really played with the highlights feature on this, but I guess you could, like, make a little clip. That's cool. Wow, what a strong rejection from AMD. That's a very bearish signal. Yeah, I mean, AMD, that's a harsh rolling over move for sure. Do I think WHLM will have another run later? I mean, maybe, sure. I mean, I'm not really banking on it myself. I mean, maybe it does, but yeah, I mean, again, like I said, my projected move was from here up to about that 720 to 780. So the market on WHLM has already done everything that I thought it should do, so I'm really not planning for anything else. Sam Martier, why are you not showing light speed? I guess the simplest answer is going forward, this is exactly how the morning streams will be on our channel going forward. AMD ended up, popping back up a little bit. Nothing really crazy going on there. The NASDAQ went down to about -3 deviations on the intraday. So ideally, the bounce level that's happening on the SPY right now, or sorry, the bounce on the NASDAQ that we're seeing, it's kind of meant to be happening. But again, like I said, I'm not going to be a dip buyer on the market until we get down to the price of about 358. So when the NASDAQ gets down to about 358 next, that's probably where you would look to be a long bias trader. BDR just came across the scanner. It might be worth a move, but I'm not really banking on that. Yeah, BDR really does not look all that special. I would say AMD kind of rolling down a little bit there on another candle as the market tries to roll over a little bit. I want to say the market's trying to kind of pop right now, but I'm saying that still doesn't really look all that great. When the Fed quits printing money, the market will crash, most likely. That's probably what's most likely to happen. But yeah, that would be my assumption is when we stop printing money, the world, the market is pretty much toast. You know, say the SPY is really creeping up, but AMD is not. I mean, we've been seeing the market kind of come back up. Same thing with the SPY, and AMD is still really struggling. What should you be doing before the market falls? I mean, probably nothing. I mean, make sure you have cash on hand, things like that, so that if in the event, again, the market does actually crash, you have some available cash on hand to invest in things that you wanted to invest in as market prices are lower. But that's pretty much it. Just preparing yourself, making sure you have cash on hand, security cash, so that if in the event you lose your job, something like that, you're not gonna die. Pretty much anything around that, you'll be fine. Take a look at LIXT. I really don't care for LIXT, and I think the main reason why is it's already bought up to like longer term resistances. So, I mean, yeah, you can look at this. Ready? So you're looking at LIXT right now, and you're going, oh, it looks like a wedge. Like, all right, we're gonna wait for this wedge pennant thing, and then it's gonna break out, and we'll be long bias. All right. So while you might be looking at this pattern and this wedge that you think is bullish, right? Watch what happens when we go to the long-term chart. You're essentially buying into this wedge, right? You'd be buying that wedge breakout right into +3 deviation resistance, which is right at 416. All right, so you can see that there. I mean, it's pretty much. Yeah, excuse me. So you can see the +3 deviation mark where it's at. So what I'm getting at is you're basically looking at LAXT where it's trading up near long-term resistances, and you're looking at a wedge pattern that's taking place at resistance. So you'd be trading into a wedge looking to break it out right into resistance. This is areas where false breakouts happen. So yeah, I probably wouldn't really be long bias LAXT. Wow. All right. Well, I guess BTBT came back on the day. That's way more than I was expecting. So yeah, with the strength that BTBT is kind of starting to see. This is something where I think, let me just double check. Yeah, I think this is going to try to move up more towards $13 overall. Plant-based food industry. Do you think there's a boom coming? There's nothing new there. Cat's already out of the bag, I think. I think plant-based food's already been around long enough. So no, I don't necessarily think that's something that's just gonna take off. I think it's already, popularity is already out there. Sure, there's probably more growth for it, but in regards to boom, I mean, I think popularity is already there with it. Nope, standard deviation course is not available at TC2000, only available at Thinkorswim. Wow, the market put in just like an absolutely perfect recovery. What a piece of shit. Yeah, it looks like the markets are going to bounce back up to about the 9-day moving average. Once they do that, they're probably going to start falling back down a little bit. So how you deal with fear of emotions? Ideally, once you've traded so many times and lost money and made money so many times that eventually your nerves just kind of go away. That's pretty much it. And then also, if you're trading with too much money, then your nerves are going to be all jacked up. So as long as you're just trading with a respectable amount of money that you're okay and comfortable with, then emotions kind of figure themselves out. So generally speaking, it's going to come down to you not using too much money while you're trading. Basically means don't leverage too much money and or just trading and practicing over many years. You'll just get more comfortable. That's pretty much it. Yeah, in other words, you just basically become numb to it. But also making sure that your position size is good. AHPI. Maybe. Let's see. So, did a little pop-up. Doesn't really look all that good. Probably not. Nope. Again, if you look at AHPI, you'd be buying AHPI right now over +4 deviation. So ideally, when you look at this chart, you can see it's got like a U shape and it's going up. You're like, oh, well, maybe if we get through these highs. I mean, yeah, if we get through those highs, obviously the stock's going to go higher. But you're currently taking ownership of the stock at +4 deviations. And based on like institutions and hedge funds and everything today, when they're waking up and seeing that AHPI is traded up here, they're selling it, right? They're buying down here, right? And now that it's ripped up, they're selling it up here. So AHPI is currently priced at a price that really doesn't make sense to hold it for right now. Therefore, I probably wouldn't be long biased AHPI. Denny, I've already traded a lot of positions today. So again, the way that you guys have seen the stream today is the way that the stream will be done going forward. So basically my objective as I come online each day is to do live analysis, give you guys what I believe to be the most accurate pricing. Again, from my personal opinion and approach, what I believe to be the most accurate pricing and price targets and stocks that basically you want to keep an eye on throughout the remainder of the day. That's pretty much it. So if you like the way the stream works, then feel free to tune in each day. But what you've seen today is pretty much what you can expect for days going forward. AMD overall is a strong stock right now. Then again, it's also in relation to the way that the market bounced. If you look at the way the market's bounced, it's pretty much going straight up. So pretty much all stocks right now should be going straight up. Today's P&L is 297. Had a high of like 1,500, then lost on a couple trades. So should get 297 right now. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think markets are just going to keep kind of grinding back up to the 9-day moving average. So for the time being, you're probably just seeing things inch a little higher on the day. CLX. Yeah, we could take a look at CLX. Oh. CLX is down off earnings, so the only way that you can consider buying CLX today is if it's on a strong support, which most likely it's fallen to support or it's close to. So if we look at the 4-hour chart, you will see that we've actually fallen below support. So that's why and look at this, ready? All right, look at where the top of this green candle is. It's all the way on that yellow line. So the way it happened today is the market sold below support, then the market bought the stock back up to retest the support that broke as resistance. So nonetheless, you probably should be more swing long CLX at this price. So you'd be doing a counter trend long. Stock sold off. You're looking to buy this dip, and as it comes back up in its counter trend move, you would sell it. So right now, you should be more on the long side of CLX. FLGC. Will they ever fix their platform? Maybe. Oh, look at FLGC spiking up to 10. Good move. Back to overbought, so not a long candidate anymore. No. Demonstrate taking a short position. So all you have to do is click the sell button. That's literally it. So the same way that you go about taking a long position by clicking buy, it's the same exact thing. You just click sell. That's it. Same process. Thoughts on trading triangles. My recommendation is if any of you in here are really keen on trading patterns, then you want to research Bulkowski. The name Bulkowski, he was a trader and investor a long time ago. Anyways, I think he's written a couple books too, but anyways, he was the one guy that basically back tested and tried to come up with some sort of statistical probabilities as to patterns having profitability. And at the end of the day, pretty much the conclusion came down to is that pattern trading is actually not profitable. Yes, you heard that correct, from a trading channel. Patterns, when you back test and look at them, really don't have a statistical edge that provides profitability. Patterns just have basically volatility is all. So Patterns create volatility that create big moves that you're able to profit off of, but there is no statistical performance that really suggests that patterns are going to lead to profitability in trading over the long run. So what I recommend to you is that you go and you read Bulkowski, Bulkowski. He researched patterns for a long time, and he has a list of the top 20 patterns or so. And the most profitable pattern, number one most profitable pattern and reliable pattern within the stock market is a head and shoulders pattern or an inverse head and shoulders pattern. Your pennant, your bullish pennant, your symmetrical triangle, those actually fall lower on the list of profitable patterns in relation to a head and shoulders pattern. So nonetheless, Bulkowski has pretty much done the research for us. It leads us and tells us basically the probabilities of those patterns working over X amount of period of time. And all that research basically comes down to suggesting that patterns do not provide profitability in the long run, and that the most profitable pattern to trade into is a head and shoulders pattern. So, and that was actually one of the videos that I was planning on doing sort of in the future, was a rundown of the list of those patterns and, where they rank. Nice. Another breakout move from WHLM. Like I said, I didn't really expect us going more than the 770s. So now that we have, that's great. It just means that the markets are moving another deviation. So you can see that the market is about to pull back in a second at 840. So the next pullback level is going to happen at 840, 850. Looks like the market's getting halted right now. So what's most likely to happen? Yeah, so pretty much what's going to. I'm not going to say what's likely. I'm just going to tell you what's going to happen because it's going to happen. So what's going to happen is you're going to get up to this 840 price and, oh, I forgot to do one thing. Sorry. So what's going to happen? Damn it, wrong time frame. So we'll say that again. So what's going to happen with WHLM here is it's going to go up to the price of 850 to 880, and then it's going to consolidate, pull back, and sell off in that area. So pretty much if you wanted to be long WHLM, you missed it. If you are long WHLM, you pretty much want to sell as soon as the sun halts. And if you want to continue holding, you shouldn't really be trying to hold for anything over $8.88. Basically, you're not going for anything over $9. So again, WHLM will go up to about 850. The sell-off is now going to start from 850 to 9. This is where it's guaranteed to pull back there. Guaranteed. What other stock market mentor person tells you things that are going to happen and say, it is, this will? Not many. Most will say, well, if it does this, it can do that, and then we got to look for this, which there's nothing wrong in that analysis, and even I do that from time to time. But I can tell you right now, this is going to go into 850s about, 880s or so, but this is where the markets are going to sell down. Whatever happened to AMC today? Did the apes blow that shit up or what? No, they didn't. No. AMC just sold down into the desired price targets for the day, and it's starting to base and it's trying to hold. The miraculous thing is that we mentioned that was going to happen at 8 in the morning, and it's 10:30 and it's happening. That's cool. That's fun. That's why I love to do these streams, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I really like doing it. It's less about making money sometimes, but it's more or less doing that. To be able to say that I was able to come into the stock market and then predict exactly what's going to happen to the price of a stock hours before it actually happens is why I love doing this. And even more so why I love streaming it so that you guys can see it and that we can actually prove there is a rhyme and reason to the market. That's what's really fun about this. It's like, I wonder how much different the market would be if the 10 or like 20 or 30,000 people on Matt Core's channel would just tune in for a half second every day. It'd be crazy. I can only imagine how strong the dip buy would be down here then, right? Because if you could tell a stream of 20,000 people that's where the market's going to go, and this is where you want to dip buy, I would imagine the dip buy would probably be better. But, who knows? So, Let's see. WHLM still halted. Again, it's at 840. Max price on this 887. No, so that I can't predict. I cannot predict when AMC is going to short squeeze. And the reason being is because you're trying to predict what other people are going to do with their investment, which is pretty much unknown. So, in my opinion, the stock already short squeezed. You've already gone through 2 short squeezes. So now you'd be going for a 3rd short squeeze. So can people on AMC squeeze out shorts for a 3rd time? Maybe. That I don't know. So that's what I'm saying, is those are the things that I can't predict. The only thing I can predict is price fluctuation, usually on the day or over the course of like a couple weeks. But trying to determine what a bunch of other people are willing to do with their money, that's just too hard. Yeah, so this is where you would be dip buying AMC if you thought it was going to go higher. This would be your lowest risk dip buy opportunity basically on today. I'm not going to buy this long because the way that the market is currently set up, this would be a counter trend bounce within a bearish move. So unless you're just really wanting to put money on AMC to see if you can be right over the next day. Okay, WHLM is opened. Look at where the halt candle went to. $8.90, and then we crashed. It's almost like you can predict this shit. Or can you? Or are you not supposed to? Hell, I have no fucking clue. I'm just guessing at random here. So can we get at least over 340 likes for me predicting the top of WHLM basically to the penny? Is that okay? Can we do that? Can we just get the likes up to 340 and then I'll be happy? And there we go, folks. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. I'll be here tomorrow. So again, if you guys tune in to the stream with me every single day, we're going to be doing this every single day. We're going to do the live analysis. I will put all the price levels on the chart that you guys should be paying attention to. And if you keep with me for, a couple years or a year or 2 years, you should pretty much pick up on how the markets move for the most part. There's always going to be these days where shit doesn't make sense and you're a little confused. But for the most part, the system and strategy and everything that I'm showing you on the chart, it does in fact work. And if you can find anything else that is more accurate, please share it to me for free, the way I share with you guys. So again, if you guys come across anything that can predict the price movements to the penny as we have just done here on WHLM, please let me know. So we're going to be live 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. every day. That's what we plan to be doing. Fridays, I will be offline because Fridays are going to be the day where I do one-on-one mentoring sessions, which is something we used to offer, then stopped offering, then used to, then stopped, and now I'm going back to offering it. So Fridays is a day where I'm going to take a couple hours out of my day and sit down with some traders who schedule appointments with me, and then we can kind of go through some things one-on-one. So if that's, a live trade, with their, whatever it might be. But so those will be on Fridays. When that system is up and going, I'll let you guys know. I was number 340. Let go. AMD looking strong. Yes, AMD is strong. It went through a nice dip there a second ago. Now it's up. the time frame on the daily chart is just 1 year, 1 day. So if you're on Thinkorswim, it's categorized by 1Y, 1D, and that's the time frame I'm using. That would be nice, Mr. AR. I would really, that would probably do the trick. I bet you're right. I bet you're right. So yeah, just expect that Fridays we will not be online. You know, once I get done here at about 11, and then I'll work for a little bit, and then the rest of the day will be used to start up our new golfing YouTube channel, which I hope all of you grow to love. So in the mornings, it's stonks. In the afternoon, it's golf, folks. It's golf. The two only important things in life: screaming the F word on a golf course and screaming the F word at your stocks. I don't think I'll be mentoring this Friday. I mean, I probably could. It's really just based on me getting... I have to set up the logistics behind it on our website. So the whole logistical approach and process isn't yet in place on our website. So we have to do that. Oh, here's another thing that I didn't tell you guys about, like this crash. You see how we predicted where the crash would start? I can also tell you how to predict where the crash will end. So again, if you look at the screen on the right, we're going to put this up on WHLM. So again, we went over how you could predict the top, but where can you predict the bottom of that move? So the bottom of this move, you see how we went up to 890 and then we fell all the way to 770? Okay, so the best way I can explain this is, again, markets move in deviations. So the market moved from, hold on one second. So this level down here around 770 on WHLM, that was a deviation level that we ended up breaking. So we broke the deviation. We then ran up to 890. 890 was the top of the 3 deviation mark. From the 3 deviation mark here, we pull back and we sell all the way back off to the +2 deviation, which is down here. Markets move in deviations. When we break one, we move to the next. When we stop at one, we usually pull back to the one prior. Each deviation level is support and resistance. When stocks break a deviation when stocks break support, they pull back to retest support. When stocks break resistance, they pull back up to retest resistance. When stocks break out of deviations, they normally run to the next deviation. When a stock stops at a deviation and pulls back, it's normally going to pull back to its prior deviation. Okay? So you can see here the bounce. Look at where the market's starting to bounce here. Okay, you see these couple 3 green candles? Why is the market bouncing here? The reason the market is bouncing there is because we pulled back from this blue line back down to the green line. You see where the green line's at on the right screen? As mentioned by the red line that I put here, which is right here. The reason the market pulled back to about 776 and we're trying to bounce is because it's on a +2 deviation mark. You could literally almost forget about every other single YouTube video you've watched that says, watch for candlesticks to do this and do that and break this level. You can pretty much forget about all of that because the price points that I'm showing you are the starting points of all of those moves. So before a candle would go up and create a level and then the next candle breaks this level, you're already going to know where the beginning of that move is going to happen because it starts at the deviation, right? So pre-market, for example, pre-market, when you wake up this morning, right? When you woke up this morning at 9 o'clock and you're like, damn, why'd the market stop on WHLM here? You'll never question anymore. You'll be the one who knows where to start the pre-market support. You'll be the one that knows where the start of the pre-market resistance or the pre-market support is going to be. Before WHLM even opened up on the day, you could have put price targets of 990 and said, this is the max long for me today, 990. Because they're already provided for you. So that's the nice thing. Like, I'm almost dead serious about creating a YouTube channel for golf. Because I kind of want a YouTube channel that allows me to kind of be myself and not always so serious, but also do something that I love doing. So, yeah, we might do that and just have shits and giggles with it. And because there's these other golfers on YouTube that I watch, and I really want to play golf with them, but I know the only way I'll be able to get to do that is if I create a YouTube channel that's equally as cool as theirs, and then we can become friends. Yeah, I mean, overall, it's been a pretty decent day. WHLM made some great moves. Hell no to golf. I enjoy it though. I usually watch a YouTube channel. I'll pull it up for you. So this is usually the YouTube channel I watch for golf. Well, one of them. The Good. So it's 4 guys or 5 guys, maybe 6 at times, but they basically just play around and have a bunch of fun, and it's just a blast to watch it. So no, I do not golf with my fiance. She's not so much of the golfer. Raphael, so anybody who's going to be interested in one-on-one mentoring, that's probably, at least for now, it's only going to be offered on Fridays, but you'll be able to sign up for all of that through our website. So you'd sign up, you'll be able to pick the time slot on Friday that works for you, and then we'll just link up through a meeting and whatnot. J Mott, I watch the Golf Sidekick too, so I watch, of course, everybody who knows who Rick Shields is. You cannot be a golfer and watch YouTube and not know who Rick Shields is. So of course we know who that is. And then there's GM Golf, which is the Garrett kid of the Good Golf. And then you have the Golf Sidekick. I believe he lives in Thailand. But anyways, he's a savage. He's really good too. All right. Honestly, I think we're probably about to end the stream there. Close to 11. Not quite there, but, things are moving, decently slow right now. So I don't really see there's a need to stick around and ramble on. So I do appreciate you guys tuning in. If you could do me a favor for the last couple of you guys, just tickle the like button, lick the like button, rub it down, give it a little massage before you head out the door. I would greatly appreciate that. And then I will see you guys back tomorrow morning for another stream. All right, guys, everybody take care. Have a good one, and I will see you tomorrow morning.